This is the camp phase before Shiloh. So what I'm going to show you here is that I'm going to set aside my best units and then disband all of the lesser units. These less experienced units have some very good stats, but they're about 22 in efficiency maybe, and so I blend them in with the rest of my raw recruits and have about 14,000. Then I'm going to, mostly for free, pull the 14,000 out and then reform my best units. Now, I think I mentioned this in the comments to somebody. This only works if you have enough rifles that you can take out your raw recruits, or this becomes very expensive. I mention this because for the Union, this is really difficult. I did this once in a Union playthrough that I didn't record, and it only worked because I was taking a lot of losses. The Union Army, even without putting points into politics, and in my playthroughs as the North, I do not put points into politics. They get a ton of men. I mean, just absolutely an enormous number. And it's nothing like mid-campaign to look over and see 50,000 men in the manpower pool that just piled up there. And yeah, it's an enormous number that you get hit with, even without points in politics. And so it becomes almost impossible to buy enough guns to be able to arm all those guys. And then it just takes, I mean, it takes forever to reform your army in camp phase. So this isn't so bad. 14,000 men. I have enough weapons. Not bad. If I had 50,000 raw recruits and 50,000 in my army, this becomes, it just time. I mean, who wants to do that? It just becomes easier just to pour raw recruits into your units and not worry about it. And then you go on to the next battle. So you can do this, but it's time consuming. But like everything else, camp phase is where you really stack things up to do well in the next battle. And, this is one way to make your unit stronger. The last time I did this in my Union campaign, as I recall, my units, some number of units can easily go to 3 stars infantry. And you can also take men out of these good infantry units and make artillery and cav and whatever else you want to make, and they'll also be 3 stars. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. So, okay, I'm just moving men around and building units, and I'm going to shuffle around officers last. I just had Scott gave me a comment in the comments section. Brilliant idea. In a grand battle, I think he said before Shiloh, he had a lieutenant general, and his method was, it's kind of sad, only 10 people are going to hear this probably, but it's a genius idea. I'll try to mention it in future battles. I've already played the Battle of Shiloh, so I can't do it there because I already played the battle. But in grand battles like Shiloh, make a green unit, lowest possible attributes, and put a high-ranking general in it. And what that does is that gets that general the greatest amount of command possible. So if you do that in a couple battles, you can get, say, a brigadier general to lieutenant general very early. Getting 3-star generals is a huge, huge deal, and of huge benefit to your army. So yeah, instead of putting the lowest ranking colonels possible in my green units, I'm going to have some green units with good brigadier generals or 2-star generals. That might be that's going to be risky because generals do get killed, but when the unit's 2,500 in size, the odds of them getting killed are not that great. So build the largest possible green unit that you can and put it into battle. I'd want it to be the lowest possible 1-star, because units without 1-star are pretty terrible. So yeah, and then do things like make sure that unit walks a lot, I guess, and grind up condition, and that transfers right to the command bar for the officer. So yeah, I have. Oh, what I did was I mathematically sat down and I calculated, okay, I have this much artillery in my inventory, X amount. So I got rid of all the units that all the green units. So what I did was I calculated, okay, here's the number of men that I have that are good with high efficiency. Here's the number I have with low efficiency. And out of that, I want to put all of the guns that I have for free. I don't want to buy any except the 24-pound howitzers. And if I have any 20-pound Parrots, which I don't think I have one 20-pound Parrot. So yeah, I can, the only guns I'm going to buy are 20-pound Parrots and 24-pound howitzers. The rest of them I want to be free. So take all my free cannons, put them in, how many men is that, and then how many men are left over, divide that by the number of units. And what I came up with, I wanted all of my good units to be over 1,200, and it worked out 1,340. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5 units. 3, 4, 5. I have 6 units of 1,340. And then these units are all going to be about 1,200. And yeah, you'll notice it's a weird number of 1,203. So yeah, I just sat down with a calculator. It's 1,203. Make every unit 1,203. So, and you'll notice I'm giving everybody the morale perk. That's because there really isn't that much walking here. And I intend to get into a lot of melee. It's deceptive how much walking there isn't. And units will have a ton of time to just sit around because I'm not going to trip the flags. So this is a very long battle. If one of your units gets tired, which a couple of mine do in melee, you just have them sit for 10 minutes and they're recovered. So yeah, condition is not a problem in this battle. Condition becomes a problem if you run out of ammo. And I'm going to talk just briefly about how I broke the code for ammo. I can almost always get through battles at playing either side if I have logistics of 4. That seems to be the magic number. But 35,000 in supply. I put that money away right away. Now in multi-day battles, you don't want any, as a general rule, you do not want any money on hand. You want to get rid of the cash. So put it into something. Like I have 2 cores, so I can put 35,000 in a supply wagon. I can buy some guns. Whatever, just get rid of it, because the AI will steal your cash in multi-day battles. And yeah, I don't want to talk about that in depth here. Yes, sir. But just get rid of the cash in multi-day battles, and this could be a multi-day battle. And I also recommend have a couple of officers in reserve in multi-day battles. They can just be majors, so you can move officers around if officers die. So yeah, the trick, I think, to Shiloh as the CSA is to fill up your supply wagon, have 4 perks in logistics if at all possible, and this is important, load up all of your units before the map opens up with ammo, and then get your ammo wagon over to the right side of the map, because your allied troops are going to run out of ammo. And at some point, it's a real good idea to turn the supply wagon off from supplying artillery, because artillery just hemorrhages ammo, so that your infantry can make it until your supply wagon can make it from your army to the right side of the map. If you get those guys on the right side of the map, your allied troops, resupplied, the infantry, this is a much easier battle. If you don't, they're going to become quickly exhausted because they burn condition when they are scrounging for ammo. Not to mention they only fire at 1/3 speed and will take a lot more casualties. But, and it's also nothing but rough terrain over there. And some of them will probably get into the swamp and have to fight melee. So they're going to be tired. So you bring them out. As they reload, they also burn condition. But they'll be able to reload and get, well, you'll see it. I'm able to get them onto the line full of ammo, and they are very, very effective. And yeah, you do not want the guys on the right flank, your allied troops, to run out of ammunition. And probably at Shiloh, most players have that happen to them. So 1340 for my good units, 1203 for my lower quality units. Everyone's going to have a really good day, even the guys with 42s. This is a good army for this battle. And the battle is, well, it's amazingly easy. I'm going to get 20,000 captures out of this battle. My goal is to keep the battle running as long as possible and not trip a flag. I think I do that. I'm looking at the Fayettevilles. Or the sniper rifles. I should go ahead and buy them, but I'm really tight of cash. But I should buy the sniper weapons. So if I'm, yeah, there's no reason, I'm not going to invest in economics anytime soon, so I might as well just buy rifles. Yeah, I like the M&Gs. The Tyler, Texas is a good weapon. Mississippi's I'm happy with. More Enfields are always great. So, but eventually I do the smart thing and just dump it into supply. I can buy all those later. So, yeah, I think I bought the sniper weapons. I think I did. So, yeah, Enfield, 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 3 Enfields, 3 Lorenzes, M&Gs, a couple of them, Mississippis. Let's see, I have 2, 3. Yeah, I'm surprised how far these Mississippis went. Now, this is why I was buying Mississippis. I wanted these Mississippis to go as far as possible. Palmettos, most of those, I turned in reputation for some palmettos, and now I have 3 units with palmettos. That's a good melee weapon, and we are going to get into melee. And 1 unit with 42s. I don't really want to buy 1,240 palmettos, or I could buy Mississippis. That might be worth it. 1 more unit with Mississippis and get rid of the 42s, but as I recall, the 42s have a really fine day. Now, the only thing I do different, that Brigadier General, I put him in with a green unit, and yeah, get that guy some promoted, but I always hold back a couple of officers in case this goes to day 2. You're probably going to get some officers killed and wounded. So anyway, that's the camp phase, and next battle is Shiloh.